Hello! Today I'm going to show you how to convert the basic bee farm that I showed you how to build in the last video into a fully automatic bee farm. And this is useful, it just automatically harvests the honey. You just need to put in bottles, and it'll bottle it all up for you. Which means you don't need to come back here every so often. And in a bit, I'm going to show you one that's been running for a while. And then you can see that. So the first thing you'll want to do is pick a direction, like right or left, and then place down a line of hoppers directly underneath all of the beehives/bee nests. These will be what picks up your honey bottles. Then you can have them go into a chest, or a dropper, or whatever, storage system maybe. I don't know. Have them go somewhere. And then, the second thing you do is you forget to grab the item on the dispenser. Anyway, and then you place down a line of dispensers facing downward, like this, like while crouching and then moving into the side. So you can place down a line of downwards facing dispensers directly above where the nests are, or hives. And then, once you're done with that, you are now on your way to getting this set up. So you won't need any more beehives, but then, after you've put down the dispensers, you want to put down some hoppers. Now that all your hoppers have been placed down, you'll want to build out from one side of them, like 3 blocks, and then up 1 block. And now that you've made this little, I don't know, sideways L, then on the block that's sticking up, place down a lever and flick it to be on. Now on top of the block closest to the upraised block, you can place down a powered rail, and then place down normal rails all the way across. And then immediately after the last hopper in the chain, then place down a slab that is on the top half of the block. And then place a detector rail on top of the slab. Facing away from the detector rail is going to be a comparator into a block. And then from that block, you're taking a repeater into another block. And then place a bit of redstone dust right at the final block. So it should go like around in a little circle. And then you will have a little powered rail right here as well. So you've got a powered rail on each end. That one's always powered because it's got a lever. This one is only powered when the minecart still has stuff in it and it arrives, and then it'll be sent off again. And this is so that it can just not go back and forth once delivering 2. It'll deliver all of the bottles that you sent it with. And then over here is you place down a manual activation button. And it's preferably actually not a stone button, I just have a stone button. Anyway, stone buttons are harder to see if you're on stone, but like if you're on wood, stone buttons are usually fine. And then, directly above it, place down a double chest, like this. Large chest is what they're called. You basically just place 2 chests right next to each other, and they connect, becoming a bigger chest. And so, if you've done it all correctly, you should be able to go place down a minecart on this powered rail, push the manual activation button, it'll go back and forth, and nothing will happen. That's good. But if you put like glass bottles in it, for example, put them in the large chest and they'll filter down into the minecart with hopper. Or you can just place them directly in here if you want it to be a little bit faster. Then what you do is, so you can see none of the dispensers have any bottles in them right now. But if we activate this, then the minecart will just kind of keep going back and forth, and it'll deliver bottles to all of them. In this case, since we have one of length 8, it'll deliver 8 to each, because 8 bottles times 8 dispensers is 64, which is how many we put into the system. So now it's gone back and forth enough times, and it's delivered 8 bottles to each. And it rebounded each time here because it still had any bottles left in it. And now, we have the bottle inserting system is now complete. Hey! So now, for the final part. So what you want is, you'll want to grab, for this part, just some redstone dust. None of these rails. So you'll want a slab, redstone dust, stone bricks, and a repeater. Okay, so there's actually 2 ways to build it. There's the way I'm just starting to show you how to build it, which makes it so that it can store more glass bottles total and takes less resources, but it needs more glass bottles to actually run the system. There's going to be a second way to build it immediately after that requires less glass bottles. It actually requires as many stacks as you want. However, it is much more resource intensive to build that all the way across. Peter. So, craft up a few slabs because that's not the only slab we're using. We're also using another 8. So in total, we're going to be using 9 slabs. Kind of an irritating number, actually, because it creates extra slabs. That's besides the point. So what you do is you place down a layer of blocks right behind where your lower hoppers are that take the honey out, so that it's now elevated to the level of the beehives, and this is the backside of them. So then what we do is we place down our comparator line. So you paste down like a line of comparators, and you go 2 blocks out, so you just go 2 blocks out on each of these, and then you go 1 block up. So we place one like this, so that it's diagonal upward. And then you go along the line once again. And then you go 1 block up from here and place a slab on the top half of the block. And what this allows us to do is go across and then up. So now we have a pulse all the way up to here. And then we place 2 more. And then we'll have redstone dust here. And then a repeater here. But for right now, just go place down your line of slabs. Doot. Now the slabs are down, and then you can go place down all your stone bricks. Actually, before you place down this line of stone bricks, put down the first and second lines of redstone. So once you've built it up to here, put down your line of slabs, go put down first and second lines of redstone all the way across here. Like that. And then, if you want, you can also put down the third line. And then, build out 2 blocks of stone all the way across here. And then facing into the hoppers, place repeaters. And these are what's going to be activating the dispensers. And so what this is this is detecting its honey level, which this has just kind of been left here for a while, so most of them are full. And then once it's got maximum honey level, it'll reach this repeater. So like, if we go put that down, and then it activates, activating the dispenser, which then uses the glass bottle. So, in this case, what will actually instead happen is it'll put a honey bottle inside of here. However, in my previous design, I did not know that it would do this. I thought it always just shot it out. Anyway, what this means is you're actually going to have to put a glass bottle in every single slot. Okay, so I have just designed this thingamabobber of doom and destruction. Actually, it's not doomy or destruction-y either. But, so here is the other tactic. So, you got a little bee here. He is being awesome. So, what it is we have the thing as it was before, a block behind it, and then a comparator, and another block, and then we have redstone dust. Like, you get 3 pieces of redstone dust, goes up 1, got a redstone dust there, goes up another one, got a redstone dust there, and then we have a repeater, and then you have a sticky piston, which, and then you have a sticky piston, an observer facing this way, and then 2 blocks in front, or observer facing this way, and then this is where the hopper would be. And so this is the tileable design. And so basically what happens is, well, normally I would generate all the way up, and it does. I just need to put in the repeater to get it to work. And there we go. It has now made some honey. And it still creates extra glass bottles. So I guess... Okay, so with this design, you can either have it guaranteed you won't get any glass bottles in the output, but you gotta put in more glass bottles. Or you can just kind of shove stuff in there, and then you'll get some glass bottles in an output, which you'll have to sort out. So it's kind of like, it could go either way. Like, you'll also get a variable amount of glass bottles out each time, which is kind of irritating. However, it's really simple to just sort these out afterward and just put them back into your system. Okay, now that you have seen how to build the actual contraption, I've actually left this one running for a while. So if we go look in here, I actually have gotten quite a few honey bottles so far. And one kind of interesting thing you can do is once you use the honey bottles, you can just put them back into the top of the system so that they can go get refilled. Which basically means that you just never have to make more bottles, since you can just, like, put more honey bottles in to make it work. We're done here.